Estoy enfrente de casa de Toñita. This is Toñita's spot that Bad Bunny references in that song Nueva York, which was, one of the highlights for me at the halftime show. And, it's in my neighborhood that I love so much. I wanted to talk to you about Super Bowl halftime show, my thoughts. I have many. So many. Let me tell you something. One of the reasons that I had like a double take on Bad Bunny was specifically because of how real, how real so much of his tribute album was. His team, shout out to his team. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, but you have to recognize when artists do things in the right way. And he brought aspects of the Caribbean. He brought the Puerto Rican culture center stage to the halftime show. Now, things all about nuance. I completely get it. It's all in Spanish. Was that the, for the people who tune into the NFL, was that their cup of tea? We can argue that. But if you're going to argue that, then you have to argue then, Kendrick Lamar last year and all the years before. I didn't really like that Super Bowl halftime show last year, but it's art. So maybe the bigger question is the artists that get brought to the NFL, should they be more in sync with what the NFL audience might expect, or maybe Americana, maybe a little bit of everything, maybe there needs to be a little bit more integration. I can see that being a fair argument, but I have to say, Turning Point, I'm so disappointed with Turning Point USA. I'm disappointed at all the ways Turning Point and the conservative influencers and news people did everything in their power to sabotage what was not just a moment for Bad Bunny, but a moment to learn about Puerto Rico, which, is a territory of the United States. We don't, people over there do not get to vote. We have a colonial relationship with the United States. The lights are always going out. There's electricity problems. The last time I was there, late last year in the summer, I experienced the lights going out. And as a Brooklynite, I was very uncomfortable because I did not know when the lights were going to come back on. So, and that is a problem that keeps happening in Nueva York. So, yeah, when you are a mainstream media artist, look, I don't know what Bad Bunny's intentions are. There's so many people that are black-pilled. You missed the nuance yesterday for all of you guys that tuned out. You missed getting to know a little bit of the Puerto Rican culture that I come from, that I love so much. Let me tell you something. I'm not a Turning Point hater. I actually have been to Turning Point events in Phoenix 2022, 2023. I loved it. I had a great time. But I recognized, and my New York family knows this, that Christian representation or organization really doesn't get the New York vibe and the New York flow. So Bad Bunny wasn't just representing Puerto Ricans, he also represented the New York spice and the Caribbean and the Latin America, all kind of coming together. He said, "God bless America." They led with the United States flag. There's so many things that were missed. There was a real live wedding at the Super Bowl. Talk about love and God and Christian values. All these things that, the people at Turning Point and the people who kept criticizing kept just saying, look, even me, I was like, "Oh, Bad Bunny, I hope you don't wear a dress." But other people just took it too far. They just kept focusing on the past. And this is why I think, as I reflect here, why am I talking so much about Turning Point USA? Because you guys, quote unquote, are a Christian organization, and you haven't been behaving very Christian-like, have you? Not since the late Charlie Kirk died. And now, while you're trying to be MTV, we're bringing in mainstream celebrities and bringing in Kid Rock to compete directly with the halftime show that many of us were looking forward to. Like, such a sour note for me. Such a sour note for me, because you guys went out of your way to taint something that was beautiful. And yeah, I get it. A lot of people like, I don't understand what he says. I don't understand what he sings. Some of us in Spanish don't understand either. But it's bigger when you miss the nuance. It was for the heart. It was for the heart. And you know what's been missing so much everywhere that I go as a local reporter here in New York is that a lot of people are just up here. We got to come down and integrate. Some people are just only here and they are not thinking logically. We need to integrate. So yeah, to sum up, I loved the Super Bowl halftime show. Congratulations, Benito. I understand that maybe not everybody felt reflected in that message, but that is kind of art. I don't feel reflected in most messages that I see from the main artists these days. I don't really feel reflected when I ever went to Turning Point, but I still went and I still covered and I still interviewed people and I still got to know people. But some people only want to embrace certain things and certain talking points. Also, it's getting a little old that these conservative influencers that have so much weight in the game, you guys are behaving like influencers, really, not even like media. Like, you guys have such a big platform and you should do more grown-up things with it. So look, on this cold as day, I'm bringing you a little grain of reality, which is why Cafecito Break is needed out here in the streets. If you like what we do, if you like what we support, I just came from a press conference where I was covering Mayor Mamdani earlier today. Hit the link, support, subscribe, donate, and thank you. Me estoy frisando, but thank you for everyone that's tuning in. We have a live show 8 p.m. tonight. Tune in. Cafecito Break on YouTube. Bye, guys.